This guy isn't sitting in his car.
Let's see here. Ooh. Oh my.
Well, let's get the formalities out of the way first. Motorama Classic Racing was developed by 251 Games and published by KISS Ltd. It's a racing game, of course, and it's set in the 50s with classic cars of that era. And I love that! I want to feel like I'm driving a spaceship, or a boat ship. The cars themselves look awesome, but you know what's not awesome? This game. Motorama Classic Racing is a mess of a title, as it has no idea what it wants to be. It wants to be both an arcade racer as well as a bit of a simulation game, and it doesn't do all that well in either area. While you can mess around with your car's tuning, there's really only one thing you have to keep in mind. Can you afford the best part for that section of the car? Yes? Then buy it. No? Then wait till you can, because there's no point in buying anything else. In Motorama, you play as this guy, and he's on a mission to become the greatest racer in the areas the tracks are themed around, but he needs to beat the king of each area in order to do that. Not only do you gain the respect you deserve and get to move on by dethroning the king, but you also get their car and their girlfriend. Cars get added to your garage collection so you can upgrade them and race with them. Girlfriends get added to your collection via Polaroid pictures. Who knows what happened to them after the race, because they're never actually seen again. In order to challenge a king, you need to reach certain requirements in each area, by completing events and earning rewards. The driving in Motorama is alright. I don't really have any issues with it as long as it works, but then stuff like this happens. And happens. And happens. Motorama Classic Racing is a broken game. It is filled with all kinds of horrible bugs. The game is made in Unity and released this year, but it has horrible pop-in issues as well as a bunch of visual glitches. Sometimes shadows can't decide if they want to be there or not. Sometimes all but a few textures on the track turn completely black. Sometimes a warning to those with epileptic issues to close your eyes for the next scene. This crap happens. I mean, what is that? Is it a rainbow car now? And these are only the visual issues. Annoyed about how your opponents get to go first in an elimination race where every 30 seconds whoever's in last place gets knocked out of the competition? That's alright, because sometimes your opponents disappear from the race, leaving you to drive around by yourself because the race can no longer end. Other times, it will flat out refuse to leave the starting line and sometimes literally try to drive over other opponents. On other tracks, where there's traffic on the roads you're driving on, your opponents can drive through the traffic. Literally drive through the vehicles, while you can't. The AI for your opponents is actually really bad, as they will drive off the road and into walls for absolutely no reason at all. Invisible walls are everywhere and are sporadic for each track. On this one, I can't drive off-road behind a phone pole, but in this one, I can. Look at this! What am I running into here? There's no reason that I should be hitting anything right here. I feel like a freaking pinball. But that's not the worst thing I've come across in this game. You want to know what is? How about a track that doesn't load the actual track? That's right. This track loads the skybox, but doesn't actually load the road that you need to drive on. The AI is fine with this, as they know where the road is, whereas I, on the other hand, do not. I don't know if Motorama is available on other systems, but I know that the PC version that's on Steam is built around the Xbox 360 controller. Nothing in this game will actually tell you what the keyboard controls are. Everything is labeled for the Xbox. Luckily, it's a Unity game, so you can just go to the input section in the game's launcher and read the key configuration from there. But it doesn't include everything. At first, I thought this game was pretty difficult and was having a hard time trying to keep up with my opponents. But after making it to the second boss, I found out that pressing the spacebar will activate your car's boost. And this, which I thought was a damage meter, is instead a boost meter. This makes the game from being really hard to being really easy, very quick. Also, this game has a drifting mechanic, but doesn't do anything to teach you how to drift. And I only found out in the final area of the game that pressing X activates the drift. You heard me right. I said final area. I have played this game for 5 hours according to Steam, and in that time I've gold medaled every race and unlocked all but 3 achievements. I persevered through the buggy races and even gold medaled the invisible track due to determination, impeccable minimap reading skills, and disappearing AI. What I can't say that I've done in Motorama so far is actually beat the game. While I may have earned the achievement for defeating the final boss, I actually have not defeated the final boss. I have never been able to even race him due to the fact that the last race does not load. I've let it sit around for half an hour and it just doesn't load. All it does is sit on the loading screen. It doesn't freeze, it doesn't crash, it just sits there. I have the achievement for defeating the final boss, but I can't actually race the final boss. For all the bugs and crap Motorama consists of, I somewhat enjoyed the parts that actually worked. The game was buggy, glitchy, and flat out broken. What's worse is that the screenshots of this game on Steam are completely misleading, and this game does not look like that. Just no. Game broken. Price actually real world money. Developer 251 Games. Publisher Kiss Ltd. This car has no driver. And they work well with each other for the most part. Half RPG, half roguelike, half strategy, and with a bit of Spy Hunter shoot 'em up thrown in the mix, you really got yourself a recipe for a unique game.